How could one of history's greatest military geniuses look at a mile of open ground and order 15,000 of his best men to march straight into suicide? We are often told the American Civil War was decided by resources and numbers, but the fate of a nation was sealed by something far more volatile: the ego of a man who believed he was invincible. Robert E. Lee was not just defeated by cannons, he was defeated by his own arrogance. This was not a battle of bravery, it was a strategic blunder of biblical proportions where audacity turned into blindness. Today, we dissect the anatomy of the tactical collapse at Gettysburg, the moment the Confederacy's genius signed his own decisive defeat. The year was 1863. The American Civil War was a brutal conflict tearing a nation apart. For 2 years, the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia, led by Robert E. Lee, had achieved stunning victories against a numerically superior Union. But even the greatest minds are vulnerable to the intoxicating belief in their own invincibility. This was the start of Lee's strategic overreach, a gamble born of desperate hope and a fatal miscalculation. By July 1863, Lee believed he had the Union Army on the ropes. His move north into Pennsylvania was an all-or-nothing strategic offensive to force a negotiated peace. His army was battle-hardened and brimming with confidence, yet beneath this veneer lay critical human failures. The first was intelligence degradation. Lee's cavalry commander, J.E.B. Stuart, embarked on an independent raid, severing Lee's vital eyes and ears. Without Stuart, Lee was essentially blind, marching into enemy territory with limited awareness of the forces against him. This was a direct violation of military doctrine, a fundamental blunder. On July 1st, Confederate forces unexpectedly stumbled upon Union cavalry west of Gettysburg. What began as a skirmish escalated into a full-scale engagement. The Union forces fought tenaciously, buying time to dig in on defensive high ground, Cemetery Hill and Culp's Hill. By late afternoon, the Confederates failed to seize these crucial heights. This was the first tactical decisive defeat of the battle, a missed opportunity that allowed the Union to establish an unassailable defensive line. The second day saw Lee launch furious assaults against the Union flanks. On the Confederate right, Longstreet's corps attacked Little Round Top. The fighting was savage, but the Union lines held. On the left, attacks were uncoordinated and lacked the punch to dislodge entrenched defenders. Lee's orders were often too vague, leaving too much to the discretion of his commanders, who failed to execute. This lack of operational synchronization proved fatal. But it was on the third day that Lee made his gravest error: Pickett's charge. Convinced that the Union center was vulnerable, Lee ordered a frontal assault across nearly a mile of open ground against the strongest point of the Union line. 15,000 soldiers marched into a storm of artillery and rifle fire. It was a spectacle of doomed courage, a tactical miscalculation of unprecedented scale. The charge was repulsed with horrific losses, a decisive defeat that shattered the Confederacy's offensive capabilities. Gettysburg was the ultimate strategic blunder. It marked the high watermark of the rebellion, a turning point from which the South would never recover. Lee's gamble, born of an overestimation of his own army and an underestimation of Union resolve, broke the back of his once invincible force. It teaches us that even the most brilliant generals can fall victim to the fog of war and the catastrophic consequence of human pride. History is written by men who thought they were too powerful to fail, right until the moment audacity overshadowed calculated risk.